This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted as always to be joined by the head of the WBC, Mr. Mauricio Suleiman. How are you, Mauricio?
Fine, Rob. I'm doing very well, and you're looking good.
Thank you very much. You're as flattering as ever, although I disagree with you. But thank you very much. How have you been keeping? It's been a few weeks since I've spoken to you now.
Yeah, it's been a challenging time for everyone. You know, every day that goes by, the emotions get the news and the anxiety. So it's a constant challenge to the human being when you are living something that is unexpected. But we're trying our best to continue the same path, to keep busy, to keep exercising, to keep your mind away from the things that create anxiety. I really don't watch news. I don't read the messages that friends send with the world ending tomorrow. Just keep working, trying to be busy, innovative, looking to different things that can be done and can be prepared for the return of the sport, and to keep a very good relationship with the members of the WBC and the boxing world. So we keep doing the WBC talks every day. We keep communicating with promoters, fighters, managers, media, or ring officials. So just trying to stay busy.
This is the third time that I've spoken to you since we've had kind of the coronavirus pandemic impact on boxing. First of all, there was still some shows going on, or still some arranged. Then second of all, they'd been cancelled and nobody knew really what was going on. Now we're in kind of a period of time where Top Rank have announced that they're going to be bringing shows back. Of course, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom have spoken about Fight Camp. So now we're kind of preparing for boxing to come back. What steps has the WBC made recently? Of course, I was on a Zoom call recently when you laid out some of the WBC's COVID guidelines for people who didn't see that or didn't see the releases that came from it. Just explain what the WBC are going to be implementing upon boxing's return.
Well, we prepared a thorough document, a protocol, administrative and medical protocol for promoters to use as a guideline, and for boxing commissions, boxing jurisdictions also to use. It's a very extensive document that goes from a questionnaire on just simply looking who could be present and who should not be present. For example, if a trainer of a fighter is 75 years old and he's got diabetes and high blood pressure, he falls into the danger area for high risk, and he should not be present in an event. So we work on that, on the COVID tests that should be performed to the fighters, the sanitization of the areas, the reclusion for 14 days of fighters, etc., etc., etc. Now I can see with great enthusiasm that it seems that in a few days, boxing is going to be starting in Las Vegas. Mexico is another city that might be opening in June. There's talks about different countries. So this is very exciting, and we can all look forward only to see how our sport is going to be opening gradually in different areas of the world, and boxing will get back to action.
It seems like a lot of the guidelines have included the caveat of no title fights, only non-title fights to limit judging, and as you mentioned, other people potentially arriving there. How would that impact on the WBC?
No, there's a possibility of having title fights. This initial protocol is a basic guideline for a 4-round fight or for a title fight. So it all depends on the country and the state that an event is planned to be, because they will have their own restrictions, their own guidelines, and it's just a matter of looking into every particular situation to assess it.
Now, one of the things that we discussed, or rather you discussed when we were on the Zoom call, not 2 or 3 weeks ago now, was judging and how judging, there will be some changes to the way that judging is implemented for these fights, obviously due to COVID. Explain to people what type of measures and what type of changes we could potentially expect to see with regards to judging.
Well, we have been working on a proposal which is a possible solution to restriction of number of persons in that area where a fight takes place. Every single person that is there is one more protocol that you have to follow and that you have to take care step by step that to make sure they are safe. This proposal of remote judging, we have been working for the last 2 years in a WBC remote ring officials evaluation. And it's part of the training, part of the certification. So we've been doing it. As a matter of fact, the Tyson Fury Wilder fight was done by a remote panel. What they do, they watch the fight from home with a certain specific criteria, big screen, headphones, no sound, international sound, etc., etc. And it has been working very well. It has been a very good experiment that we use for evaluation. It's very different to evaluate a fight when you already know the result. So we do live evaluations. So the officials judge, then we compare to the ring officials that officially scored live, and then we see different things. So when this happened, we made an addition to the protocol. We proposed this could be used to reduce the judges not being in the arena, being in a television studio or being at home. And we keep doing it. We have the technology in which the judge scores at home and the supervisor gets the result. So it's been working. It's something that could be done. It has, of course, uncertainty from the traditional members of boxing, and it's just a matter that we're studying, and we could be using it to aid the boxing promoters and the reactivation of the sport. It is not a rule, it is not a must, but it's just an option for areas that could use it.
The last time I spoke to you, or one of the last times I spoke to you, was shortly after the announcement of the Clean Boxing Programme and VADA ceasing testing. Now we've got boxing coming back, or we're expecting boxing to return soon. What can you give me with regards to an update on the Clean Boxing Programme and further testing?
The Clean Boxing Program has resumed. We made a public announcement, and it is now being open again. It's handled by VADA, and we've been in communications with them. They already have scheduled testing. It is a protocol that is absolutely secure, and we have been assured by VADA that there's absolutely all the measures to protect the doping collector officers and, most importantly, the fighters and their families. So the program is back. I feel very strongly about the good decision to stop it when it had to be stopped and to be clear and open announcing it. But now we're back and back to normal in most areas of the world.
That's good to hear. Also, another thing that we'd spoken about previously was, and I know it's something that the WBC have looked at in the past and have always been very receptive to helping people who maybe have fallen on hard times during things such as a coronavirus pandemic or numerous other issues in the past. Is that something that you've taken forward since the last time we spoke?
Yes. I don't know if you're familiar with the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund. It was created 2012 with the help of Hublot Watches and Mr. Carlos Lim with Telmex. And this fund is administered by the Nevada Community Foundation. The way it works, whenever someone has a need a fighter, it doesn't have to be a WBC world champion. It could be any fighter from any country of the world, any age. And basically, they fill a form in which they outline their needs: housing, medicines, medical treatment, food. We have even granted like a taxi car so they can work. And we talked to them, and we have finally received the good news that they have allowed $50,000 to be put aside for COVID-19 relief fund. And we are sending, for example, to Thailand, amount of money. They have submitted 17 names of fighters that are in real need because of the COVID-19 lack of work and this horrible situation. We have attended in Mexico a large amount of the boxing community members, also some in the United States. And the Board of Governors, the WBC, and any member may send us a nomination. In fact, if you know someone who is having difficulties, you can send it in, and we will figure out how to get some food to that family.
That's very positive, and as I say, it's something that the WBC always try and do. So it's always something that I always like to check in on.
Also Oscar de la Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, and the WBC, we agreed on doing a food run also. They put some money, we put some money. Other members of the boxing community, Mr. Honda from Japan, Michael Jackman from the USA. So there's people concerned about our industry. And the most worrisome is the fighters that are starting, and also the retired fighters. So I love to see how the boxing community reacts. They unite, and they go out and do so many things to lend a hand to someone that needs it.
Tyson Fury, of course, the WBC and lineal heavyweight champion of the world. He's just had a recent, I think, what was it, a hero of the world himself and his wife Paris from the WBC. That's some awards.
Yes. We created a concept which is called Hero for Humanity Award. There's so many people out there doing things during these horrible times for many. Whether it's risking your life, being a nurse, a surgeon, a doctor, a therapist, a ambulance driver, a policeman, or whether you're a member of society, feeding others, helping the elderly. There's so many beautiful stories out there. What Tyson and Paris have done is an unbelievable task. They have gone day after day after day after day, going into motivating people to stay healthy, to exercise, to keep mentally calm. I mean, the influence they have had since day one is unbelievable. So they were nominated, and they have been awarded with the Hero for Humanity. And I'm just very honored. I was in communication with him yesterday, and he's just a sensational human being. And to understand the discipline that it takes to serve others is that's what you have to praise. He has a lot of money. He is very comfortable. He has a house and has everything. And what he could be doing would be lying on the couch watching television or just being taking care of himself. But he has gone out and has taken care of the world by having discipline and doing it day after day. And it takes a lot of work, sacrifice, and I'm just very proud of having him as the WBC heavyweight champion of the world.
Speaking of him as obviously the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Where do we stand, or where does the WBC stand with the Wilder trilogy bout? Obviously, we're still waiting for some information. Is there any update that you can give me from the WBC's point of view?
We are as in the heavyweight and every single division. We are in communications with the promoters and boxers, and the WBC Board of Governors have agreed that every single case is going to be dealt separately. Every single case is going to be different. We're dealing with Tyson Fury in the UK, a contractual obligation with Wilder, and Wilder is in the USA. So we're going to see and support whatever they deem and the timings they can have to stage such fight. It's a different case when you have the champion in Thailand, and you have to see what the situation is in Thailand, who the mandatory challenger is. Maybe there's no travel possibility. So every single case is going to be addressed separately. And what I understand is that there's a contractual commitment for the third fight between Fury and Wilder.
With regards to contractual agreements, etc., obviously, as I understand, Tyson did an interview a couple of days ago, and he said that by October is the deadline for that trilogy to take place. But he said that all parties will have to get together and see sense. Now, another couple of examples of that with mandatory challengers is Nordine Ubali, as mandatory challenger is Nonito Donaire, Dillian Whyte, of course, the WBC heavyweight mandatory challenger. Is it likely that these deadlines are going to have to be pushed back? Obviously, Dillian Whyte has a February 2021 initial deadline. With regards to contracts and dates and deadlines, is that something that the WBC are going to review?
Of course. As it was initially stated, Ubali was going to do the fight, I believe, in May or June, April or May with Nonito Donaire. So this got in the middle, and absolutely, Ubali is in confinement in France, Nonito is in California. So we would have to look into the specifics. If that specific fight can be done, and then, of course, have the flexibility to look into the situations. The Wilder Fury third trilogy was supposed to take place in July. So now we are very close to July. We're going to, I don't want to anticipate, I don't want to create any expectations for either or any party. But we're going to be fair, and we're going to give justice to every single case. And we have to use common sense. We have to use absolute, how do you say it? Yeah, common sense. I mean, this has erased 4 months to everyone. We have to look on what's the situation with the TV networks. What's the situation if a fight is going to be with the public or without public? I mean, we have to be very flexible and understanding and supportive of everyone. I will not worry about Dillian Whyte. February 21 is 7 months away, but still, he is the mandatory challenger. He is the interim champion, and he will not be pushed aside.
Okay, I think we're probably about there, Mauricio. Always good to catch up with you. Nice to see you looking so well in lockdown. Glad there's going to be boxing coming back soon, I must say, and hopefully I'll get to see you and we can do this face to face sometime soon.
I'm sure that will be the case. We're all just waiting for that moment, and thank you for this opportunity to be in your program, Boxing Social.